One of my hobbies is Rubik's cubing. Childish as it may seem, I feel like this colorful little box is the best representation of the point that I'm going to try to make to you today. I believe everyone needs a hobby. It doesn't have to be anything big. In fact, the small, simple ones are the best. They provide an outlet, an opportunity to calm down, to forget life's stresses. They provide the time for inward reflection and the ability to find oneself, if you will. You see, there's a big problem in our world nowadays. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Vine, our lives have become devoted to fishing for likes and reposts. The masses have grown to cling to this idea that most of what we are comes from what others think of us and expect us to be, and that if you take them away, then nothing means anything. But at the end of the day, when we lie down at night and look at ourselves, how can we be satisfied with living our lives for those other people? We're missing the fact that confirmation and conformation are the exact same thing. When we constantly seek the approval of others, we're not acting as ourselves anymore. We're simply acting how that person would act in our situation. We have to rethink this lifestyle. We have to find a way to become ourselves again. And that is what I'm up here to try to help you do today. I began by talking about hobbies, and that's because I believe that the little things about a person, things most people take for granted, speak the largest volumes about who that person truly is. Don't believe it? I'll use mine as an example. Take a look at this box, and what do you see? To most people, it's a toy. Some will agree, yeah, pretty tough puzzle. Others will just say, what's the big deal? I can just look up how to solve it online. I'm sure it's pretty easy. I can just find a tutorial for it somewhere. You see, to you, it's insignificant. But when I look at it, I see a very important lesson. Here, I'll try to show you. So we've learned from day one that things are a whole lot easier when we work together, as a team. But those who set about finding the perfect team their first try are going to fail. And they should. Sometimes it works, but for most of us, life is not a fairy tale, no matter how dashing the prince may be. But we just have to keep turning the wheels and keep plugging away until, as if by magic, the whole thing falls into place. Now, the problem is, when people see the beautiful picture they've painted for themselves, they're too blinded to try to ruin it. These are those who conform, who do whatever it takes to keep their picture pretty without pulling back to look at the entire three-dimensional problem. So this is the challenge I have for you. Be yourself. Don't be afraid to rock the boat, because things will come back together again, and when you take a step back, then you'll see the progress you've truly made. A lot of people do reach this point. They get this far and stop. They see a great team, and they see the other aspects of their lives are starting to come along too. But they're not finished yet. They haven't truly found themselves yet. There's still pieces missing. The Rubik's Cube shows us that progress cannot be made without twisting the gears, without taking the risk of messing up some of what you already have in order to progress further. But if you have the ability to persevere and find what's truly best for you, then you'll realize that actually you are part of a bigger picture all along. And it gets easier as you go. Once you start to trust yourself and believe in yourself, then the changes you make will have less and less of an impact on your team and on the other important aspects of your life. And when you get so close to that self-actualization, you aren't afraid anymore. You then have the ability to finish strong and then say to the world, here I am, this is me. And that's a feeling that can't be beat. So yeah, it's my de-stressor, it's my reliever, it's fun. It is just a toy. But it's my toy. What's yours? As I began, I believe everyone needs a hobby. Some simple, unique thing that you do. So find your Rubik's Cube. Find that one thing that calms you down and brings you back to earth. Something that no one does quite like you do. something that you do for yourself and not for anyone else. And keep that thing in mind when you lay down at night and no one is there to judge you or qualify your actions. Because if you're not you when no one else is around, how are you when someone is?